spectrum and violet will be the shortest wavelength in the spectrum. Please do let me know, everyone, if it's clear to you.
Yes.
Any doubt so far to anyone? Sure, that's great. Okay. So these are the questions. Okay. So this is very important. Sometimes in the MCQ that the question says that if a white light is passed through a prism and again another prism is placed inverted, basically inverted in an inverted manner. So what will happen? You just have to say that it will come back, like it will basically merge all the rays and it will basically come out as a white light. Okay. So this is called the recombination of light. Okay. So when the light ray passes through the prism, so it will get split out. But if you place another prism in an inverted manner, inverted position, so the all the colors will get merged and it will come out as a white light. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Aisha, Junaid, Mariam, and yes, please do let me know. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Check. Chalo, that's good. Okay. Next is, so the 7 colors of spectrum can be recombined to give back white light. Okay. Now, the most important thing that comes in the real world, that is the rainbow. Rainbow is the perfect example for the dispersion of light. Okay. Perfect example. Why? Because this is raindrops work as the small glass prisms. And that's how the rainbow is formed, right? So rainbow is formed, we have seen, like we observe the rainbow just after the rain in the hilly areas or maybe just near the waterfall, right? Because at like the area around the waterfall, in that area, the water particles are very fine and are suspended in the air for a longer amount of time, right? So that's why the light rays basically refract from it and they form a kind of, you can say, rainbow, right? So rainbow is an arc. So basically in the question, this could be a 3-marker conceptual question. What is rainbow? How it is formed? Simple 1-line question, but of 3 marks or 2 marks, right? 2 or 3 marks definitely if the question comes from this dispersion of light. The rainbow is an arc of 7 colors visible in the sky, which is produced by the dispersion of sunlight by the raindrops in the atmosphere, right? Suspended raindrops in the atmosphere. Okay. Next is, a rainbow is produced by the dispersion of white light by raindrops in the atmosphere. Each raindrop acts as a tiny glass prism, splitting the sunlight into a spectrum. So that's how, like, millions of billions of raindrops are there in this atmosphere after the rain or just like around the waterfall. So they basically act as a tiny glass prism. So that's how the huge rainbow is formed. You must have seen that rainbow is very
Yes,
huge.
sir. But
Huh.
how those droplets act as a prism? If prism is like triangular in shape, but the drop is kind of
Aisha,
when it's there.
it doesn't matter the shape. The matter is that the property. The drop is acting as a glass prism. As you can see, this is the example of the rainbow. The light is basically going inside. So this is air, this is water. So as you can see, this thing, they are getting split out into 7 colors due to the change in atmosphere, due to the change in medium. Because water is similar, with the properties of water is similar to the glass because both are transparent, right? So as you can see, this thing, the light is converted into 7th color and after that it is reflecting back into the drop again. So this is called total internal reflection. Okay. And from this, the light is coming out of the raindrop. So doesn't matter the shape. I'm saying they act as a, not I'm saying they are definitely as a prism, act as a tiny prism. Because tiny prism do the same thing. Basically, the prism do the same thing as basically the raindrops are doing. Right? Okay. So it doesn't matter the shape. The matter is that the property of the raindrops. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear, Aisha, Mariam,
So
Junaid, and yeah.
one of
Yes.
the girl in my class asked that physics teacher, like what I asked, the same thing, and then she told the drop shape is similar to as a prism.
There you
So I
go.
got confused.
Okay, okay. कोई बात नहीं, देखो this is the actual raindrop. Like we are assuming that this is the spherical shape of raindrop, but raindrops are like this a little bit. They are conical in the upper part, right? You must have seen that when a water droplet is coming
Yeah.
out of a tap, so it is like this. So as you can see, the upper portion is very similar to the prism. So both the possibilities are there. I'm not saying this is a scenario. This is the actual representation. right? And this is also the representation that we use in our basically like normally real world, right? But actually in the air, water droplets are almost sphericals, okay? So that's why it is written over here. Like basically it is drawn like this. Okay. The main thing is that doesn't matter the shape. The matter is that the water droplets are transparent and refraction, like refracted surface, acting as a refracted surface. Okay, so that's why refraction is happening right here. The main thing is that refraction is necessary, right? So the question said the dispersion of light in the question said from a transparent medium passing through a transparent medium. It is not saying it is only a prism. It can only be a prism. We are just comparing this raindrop with prism so that you can understand in a proper manner. That is the thing. Clear, Aisha?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is it.
Sir,
Yes, yes, Zainab.
uh, is there like a possibility of them asking a question like, why is the rainbow formation only in an arc and not any other shape?
No, that's no, that is not the case. Okay. Okay, and okay, so the question could be like, they could ask you to form this in a very simple manner, not that much sophisticated. Okay, but you have to be
So
prepared because
why is rainbow art?
yes, Aisha,
Uh, I'm asking why is rainbow art?
even I don't know the reason for that. Because I have
Okay,
to look into it. Just a second. Let's check it if you are asking. Let's check it right now because this could be
okay,
a, you can
okay,
say,
ma'am.
knowledge for me as well.
Yes,
Just a moment. Okay, so so basically the arc is formed due to the multiple refraction. So if like there are multiple refractions happening, so that's why the kind of shape form is almost basically arc, right? So that's why it is arc, like not specific. There is no specific reason for that. The only specific reason is that the multiple reflection and refraction at the same time. Okay, so that is it.
yes, sir.
But they will not ask you like the like in this manner that why it is and why it is in arc and something like that. They will just ask what is rainbow, how it is formed, or in max to max they could ask you to draw. You can say just that draw how to basically how does a rainbow form? Draw it like this. Okay.
Yes, I got
Yeah.
Is
So
this
that this
like
is
a
the
repeated question?
yes, Zainab, you are saying something.
Is this like a common repeated question?
This is a very common repeated question. Yeah.
Okay.
So this could be a possibility, and you know this thing that in the boards the majority of the questions are repetitive. Right, seven at least. I'm say if you want to score like it's 80-mark paper, at least 50 marks are just the repetition. 50 to 55 marks are just repetition. One or two questions are new, or and some of the questions are from NCERT exemplar. So that's how the question is formed. Or maybe they could ask you like some of the questions are like they will basically create originally. It means that the question is not from the PYQ or not from the NCERT. So that question is purely based on the concept. So it means that you have to put your analytical thinking into that. Because if I tell you, when I was in 12th standard, there was a question, and that question seriously was like that question was not present in any of the book on the internet and nowhere, and that was serious, a very very tough question just for the 3 marks. This is about the 12th standard physics paper of the current electricity chapter, and I was basically shocked enough to see that like this question was not present like over the internet. So that's why it's not they, because they just wanted to segregate. Some of the students are preparing from the NCERT only, so they will score only 70, 75 marks. Some of the students are preparing from PYQs along with PYQs and NCERT, so they will score like 85. And some of the students are there that will prepare extra, that will study extra for that. So like core concepts, fundamental things are very strong. So they will score 95, 96%. So that's how the CBSE pattern, basically in question pattern is formed. Okay. But majority, if you want to score 80 to 85, at least NCERT PYQs are enough. 80% are secured through this. can easily secure 80%. And like you can see this thing, you just have to go upper 10 to 12% by studying concept in very detail, like each and like multiple consequences and all. Okay, Aisha, Junaid and Mariam.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Chalo, that's it. Okay. So a rainbow is produced by the dispersion of white light by raindrops in the atmosphere. Each raindrops act as a tiny glass prism, splitting the sunlight into spectrum. So the rainbow in the atmosphere act like many small prisms. Okay, so that's why this is due to the like this is the main reason behind the rain. So this is the figure that you should basically draw if the question comes. And if this is a 5 marker or 3 marker, so I don't think so that it will take more than 2 minutes to draw. Am I right or not? Like just have to circle, line draw karni hai. Then I don't think so that 2 minutes, like it's more than 2 minutes. So that will basically make an impression to the teacher as well. If you have time, if you do not have time, no need to draw. If the question is all not asking at all, you don't need to draw. So that is the case. Okay?
Sir, I did this, but she told it's very bad.
Aisha, could you please repeat?
Sir, I did this. She gave me a 0 and told your drawing is very bad.
Aisha, your voice is breaking. I'm not able to hear you clearly.
So now can you hear?
I can hear. Please speak a little bit slower so that like with some pauses.
Sir, this I drew it. My
Hmm.
teacher gave me a 0 because she told your drawing is very bad.
Acha, so same here with me.
I marked it
My
correctly, but
my drawing is very bad as well. I'm not good in fine arts. Same here. So you can draw one thing now. Take one coin along with you, right? So you can use coin just to use and scale to draw the straight lines. Okay. Don't draw rough-handedly like this. Okay. And also the
yes.
image formation should be drawn. Basically, you should draw the image formation by the scale only, because that will look very, very messy if you do not draw with the scales. Okay. That is the case. Always carry the scale with you in the science paper at least. Okay. So the color having the maximum speed in glass prism is yellow because along you can see this thing Vibgyor. So maximum speed, then after that orange, yellow. Yellow is the only one that is having the maximum speed along like in basically in the following options. So that's why it is yellow. Which of the color having the least wavelength? Violet color. If the violet is present, so obviously that's going to be a violet. Am I clear to all of you? Please do let me know.
Yes.
Any doubt so far to anyone?
No.
That's it. Now next thing. Atmospheric refraction. Same 3 marks question definitely. 2 or 3 marks question definitely from this topic. Human eye, because they want to know that whether you study this chapter in a very detailed manner or not. Because this is like some of the like students basically get tricked easily in the concepts. They somehow write some like whatever they like. Like this is the refraction that is happening at the earth and all of it. Okay, so that's how they do not score. But this is a topic, or this is a chapter in which you can score very well. Because you just have to understand the concept properly and you can easily answer them, right? The atmospheric refraction. So from the name, it is suggesting that atmospheric means the refraction that is happening in the atmosphere, right? Earth atmosphere. Clear, everyone? The refraction of light covered by the earth, the refraction of light caused by the earth's surface, atmosphere having the air layers of varying optical densities, it is called atmospheric refraction. So due to the varying at basically optical densities, refraction will happen, and that's how this is called the atmospheric refraction. Next is we have air layers having different optical densities in this in basically in the same atmosphere, because the atmosphere, I think so 6 or 7 layers. I'm a little bit like I'm not sure because I haven't studied the geography and
And
since my 7th or 8th standard. 7 or 8?
yes, 5 layers. And then the last one is having 2 layers.
2 layer, yeah. It means that it's 7 na. Last one is
Yes.
exosphere. Yeah. Exosphere itna ye wala yaar.
I don't know that.
I know that the last one is exosphere and this one is troposphere. I think so. ठीक है. So देखो 7 layer होती है. So this is the least dense layer. And after that, density increases along with the depth. Basically, if you come towards the Earth's surface, the density will increase. Okay. So, because you must have heard about that, if you go in the space, the oxygen density, the oxygen layer will be depleting. Basically, that will basically be more thinner than it is actually on the Earth's surface. Okay. So, because that's why the density is much more lower in the basically the outer part of the atmosphere, and it is more denser towards the Earth's surface. So as you can see that it is basically increasing, density is increasing. It means that refractive index is increasing. It means that the light ray will bend towards the normal. So that's how, if the light ray is coming like this, so it will basically go like this. Okay, it will bend towards the normal continuous. So that's why the reason is, this is the reason the star twinkles. They do not twinkle actually, but this is just, you can say, illusion due to the atmospheric refraction. Okay. Now let's understand what is, how it is basically, how to explain twinkling of star phenomena. The twinkling of a star is due to the atmospheric refraction of starlight. First is that the second is the continuously changing atmosphere refracts the light by different amount, because the layer is not fixed. The density of the layer is not fixed because it is a real world scenario. Density keeps changing due to the multiple factors. Like, okay, this is basically like geography, like the person who is studying like geography and all, and basically like the meteoric department and all. So they do know very well about the same. So the density affects, okay, densities basically keeps changing. Okay, due to that, from one and due to that, the refraction will be not, you can say, very regular. It will keep changing. Sometimes it will bend more, it will bend less. So that's how it will keep changing. So the starlight reaching our eye increases and decreases continuously. So if it bend more, so it will basically, the light will basically come towards the like surface, will be less intensity of light. If it's more and the diffraction is not that much, so it will be increasing. So continuously due to the atmosphere, and the star appears to twinkle. Okay. And one more thing is that star twinkles due to their own light, because they have their own light. That's why they are able to twinkle. Planets do not twinkle because they are not luminous objects. Okay. The intensity of the stars are easily observable, but the planets only reflects the light. They do not have their own light. Clear? You must have seen that moon does not twinkle. Why? Because moon is not the luminous object. It is a non-luminous object. It just reflects the light rays of the sun towards the earth. Okay. The main reason for basically twinkling of the star is the actual source of light. They are actual source of light. Even they are billions of kilometers away from the earth, right? Stars are much more away from the earth. The nearest star, it's like almost like 300 light years, something like that. And sun is around in like 25 lakh kilometers, something like that. So they are almost like beyond the reach of the human, you can say, technology. So that's why, and still we can observe them in the from the sky, right? So that is the reason. Next reason, okay, Abdul, are you there? How are you? Abdul? I think so. He is a little bit. Just a second.
Sir,
Yes, Zainab.
sir, why aren't we able to see the sun twinkle then?
Sun twinkle, because sun is much more closer to the sky, like to his earth.
Oh, okay.
The twinkling of a star is due to the, first of all, the reason is that there is a very big gap between the earth and the stars. Okay, so basically they do look like a very point size object, right? But sun is very near to the earth, so it looks like a very big ball. That's why, how is it possible? Like it could appears like a twinkling of sun.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, even sun has its own light. That's
No,
why.
sun has its own light, but reason is that it is very near to the earth.
Oh, okay.
As compared, as like it's very far, but as compared to stars, it's very near. That is the reason. Okay.
Hmm.
That's good. Okay. The next thing is that why planets do not twinkle? Same thing. Planets, first of all, they are non-luminous objects. Second thing, they are basically they are very much closer to the Earth. So that's why the refraction basically occurred in the atmosphere is not observable that much. much, right? So these are the two reasons. Planets are not the sources of light as they do not emit their own light. First reason I've told you, they are not luminous object. Okay. Second is planets are much more closer to Earth than the stars, due to which shift in atmospheric refraction is not observable at all. Clear? So that's why it is not observable at all. Am I clear to all of you, Zainab, Mariam, Abdul, and Junaid, and Aisha?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
That's great. That's great. Next is intensity of light coming towards Earth's surface is very less, because the planets only basically reflects the light rays. So the intensity is not that much strong. So you can compare this thing like that the stars are very far away from there, just beyond the, suppose that at the end of the universe, like we are just assuming, and still lights from the star is able to reach to the Earth, right? It means that the intensity of light from these stars are very high. That's why it's still observable from the billions of kilometers away, right? And planets at the same time, they're much closer, but still they are not like the shift, or you can say the intensity is very low. So that's why they do not twinkle at all. Clear, everyone? Zainab, Junaid, Mariam, and Aisha, and Abdul.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts so far to anyone? Please do let me know.
So what's the instrument used for measuring atmospheric pressure? They
That's
asked.
not no. That's not the kind of specific atmospheric refraction measurement, but maybe it's present. So they have like in the meteoric department, but this is a very high concept. But in the, I don't think so that there would be some kind of thing that would
Barometer.
measure the refraction. Yes, Aisha, you were saying something?
So to measure the atmosphere, we use barometer.
No, that is pressure, Aisha. Barometer is used to atmospheric pressure, not the atmospheric refraction.
Sorry,
Atmospheric,
only.
you are asking atmospheric pressure?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is barometer. I
Okay.
heard that you are asking atmospheric refraction. So that is barometer. Sorry for that.
Sir, atmospheric refraction, I think so. It's something with its name. One second. It's refractometer, I think so.
I didn't get your word, Aisha. Could you please refractive index?
No, refractometer to measure the atmospheric refraction.
Just a second. Let's check it. If you're refractometer, you are saying
I think
refractometer.
so. Yes.
No, Aisha, that is not the refractometer used for the atmospheric refraction. No. Refractometer is used to basically for the gases, liquids, and basically they used to find the concentration. If I show my screen to you, you can see this thing.
Refractive index.
Refractive index is the basically the you can say the number that will tell you. You can see that refractometer is a simple
Oh,
instrument used for measuring concentration of aqueous solutions such as gases, solids, and liquids. So that is something else, refractometer. Okay? It is related
yes.
to chemistry. The name is suggesting refractometer, so it possibility.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah. I thought
ha,
it's used to
because I was also thinking, because I haven't heard this name that there is an instrument that is used to measure the refractive index of the atmosphere.
Yes.
Okay, so because it depends on multiple factors like breeze and all, like because it is very high concept and deep concept, right? So okay, sure, that's great. Next is the intensity of light, as I've told you. Okay, so these are the three reasons. So question, it's a very common question why planets do not twinkle. Absolutely common question, because when I was in 10th standard, this question was there in my boards exam. Definitely. So questions are, as I've told you, are repetitive in the boards. CBSE follows very repetitive pattern. But some of the questions are from the are unique and basically original. So you have to understand the concept properly. So irrespective of the repetition or not, the thing is that you should have your concept ready for the questions. That is the only thing that I will suggest you and recommend you. Clear? Advanced sunrise and a delayed sunset. That is okay. So advanced sunrise, it means that advanced sunrise means that so it means that in the morning, the sun that we see, that is basically rising, it's not the actual sun. Actual sun is basically below the horizon. That is basically the line that is separating the sky and the earth. That's very far. Like it looks like it's not the actual line, just it is an illusion, right? So in actual, the sun is below the horizon, but due to the refraction, the sun appears to be raised. Okay, and that's how this total day length is lengthened. Okay, same here for the delayed sunset. Actually, the sun is set already, but due to the refraction, the sun appears to be upraised below, up basically from the horizon, and that's how we see the sunset more for basically for the extension of 2 minutes. Yeah, just 2 + 2. So in the exam, if the question comes that what is the total duration that is extended due to the atmospheric refraction, that is 4 minutes total. If the question says what is for the sunrise, that would be only 2. For sunset, that would be only 2. Total means 4. Okay? So please do not get confused in that. Read the questions carefully. Am I clear to all of you, everyone?
Yes.
Okay? And whenever you are writing the answer now, instead of writing the paragraph, I will again suggest you to write it with the bullet points, because that will save your time as well. That will also not irritate the teacher, that like the person who is checking. Okay, because like the keywords will be easy to find in the bullet points, right? Because in the paragraph, if you write it, you have to use as the multiple sentences, and the finding the keyword will be much more irritating. So that could leads to reduction of the marks. So that's how you can improvise your marks basically in the exams. Okay. So as you can see, 3 points are there for 3 mark. 3 marker is there, 3 points are enough, right? And if you are writing the points much more in detail, a little bit, like instead of that 1 line, if you're writing it 3 or 4 lines, and again another point of 3 or 4 lines, so 2 points would be enough in that case. If you're writing short points, the 3 point at least are required. So advanced sunset and advanced sunrise are due to the atmospheric refraction. We can see the sun about 2 minutes before the actual sunrise and 2 minutes after the actual sunset because of atmospheric refraction. Okay. When the sun is slightly below the horizon, sorry, then the sunlight's coming from the dense air to more denser air, okay, is refracted downwards as it passes through the atmosphere. Because of this atmospheric refraction, the sun appears to be raised above the horizon when actually it is slightly below the horizon. Okay, so the time from sunrise to sunset is lengthened by the about 2 + 2 is equals to 4 minutes because of atmospheric refraction. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes.
Just a second, everyone. Any doubt so far to anyone? Sure, that's great. Okay, so that's how. So this is a one, like this is definitely a 1 marker. They will ask you what is the time, basically how, basically what is the duration of the basically due to the atmospheric refraction that is being linked in the total day. Okay, that is the 4 minutes. Okay, sure, that's great. Next, last topic is scattering of light. Scattering of light is very similar to the atmospheric refraction. The reason is that, and this, it is basically spreading out the light in random directions. Simple. Scattering of light means that phenomena by which the light rays, basically a beam of light is redirected in many directions, right? Multiple directions. There is no specific direction. It is just random. Okay, due to the dust particles, water particles, gas particles suspended in the air. You have to mention which particle will basically scatter which type of light ray. It means that basically wavelength. It means that gas and small minor particles will scatter blue color or shorter wavelength light specifically. So you have to write this thing properly, because if you just write that the scattering of light is the scattering, basically just the redirection of the light rays by the dust particles or water particles, that will be wrong. You have to specifically mention it, right? When you're writing the complete, you can say definition. So by which beam of light in many directions,
So we
when
write only blue.
yes, actually, could you please repeat?
So do we write only blue?
Only
I wrote violet and blue.
Aisha, your voice is breaking again. Could you please speak a little bit with pauses?
Sir, I am saying that I wrote violet and blue.
Violet and blue, or you can use blue and shorter wavelength colors. That is also correct. If you are specific, if you're writing this thing, that is also correct. No need to worry.
Okay.
Okay. So when it interacts with the particle available in the atmosphere. So scattering of light depends on the size particle and wavelength of the color present in the white light. So it depends on the wavelength as well as the size of the particle. So larger particle will scatter large wavelength light, and smaller particle will scatter the blue color and the smaller wavelength light specifically. Am I clear to all of you? Please do let me know. Okay. So dust particle and the water particles basically suspended in the atmosphere are much larger than the wavelength of visible light. Okay, clear? So the air molecules, nitrogen gas present in the atmosphere are smaller than the wavelength of range of visible light. So that's why they scatter. So the smaller wavelength light. So the color of the scattered light depends on the size of the particle, as I've told you. The larger particles of dust and water droplets present in the atmosphere scatter the light of longer wavelength. I just told you that scattering of the light of longer wavelength will be done by these large particles of dust and water, or as such, due to which the light scatter appears white. So sometimes it seems that light is not scattered at all due to the large particles, or sometimes it will scatter the longer wavelength like red, or you can say yellow or orange color, right? Next is the extremely minute particles such as air molecules or mist particles. Mist means very fine particles of the water. Just like you can see this thing, that is when you are suppose that like you must have seen that there is a fan which basically sprays the water droplets when it is basically switch on. You must have seen in the summers. This is a very common thing that we used to see in the public places, and occasionally in the you can say the function places like the wedding places and all in the summers. Because in India I've seen this thing a lot, so that's why I'm able to a little bit like I'm able to relate it. If you have seen this, please do let me know,
What,
everyone.
sir?
Yes, Aisha, you are saying something.
Sir, what?
I'm saying that you must have seen in a public place that there is a very big fan, rotating fan running like this, okay, in the in basically 180-degree, and there is a kind of sprays coming out from it like a water spray of water,
Oh, yeah.
just to read, yeah. So that is called mist,
Yeah,
very
yes,
fine particles of water, mist, okay.
yes.
So extreme minute particles of air and mist particles scatter mainly the blue light present in the white sunlight. So, and it also scatter the shorter wavelength like violet and indigo and indigo, right? Okay? Because but the indigo and violet does not have that much longer wavelength, so that's why it is not observable in this like in the real world. But blue has longer wavelength than both, and is the frequency is much more than the other two. So that's that's why it is able to scatter much more than violet and indigo. Am I clear to all of you, everyone?
Yes.
So this is a very common example again in the exams. Why the sky is blue? Sky is blue due to the scattering of blue component of white light by air molecules present in the atmosphere cause the blue color of the sky. When sunlight passes through the atmosphere, most of the longer wavelength present in it do not scatter at all, because longer wavelength has basically scatters least, right? And much more. And first reason is that longer wavelength can only be scattered by the large particles, but the gas particles are very much smaller. So that's why they're not able to scatter that much longer wavelength, right? And the shorter wavelength, if you talk about violet and indigo, it is very short. So that's why it basically vanish in a very small region. Okay, so that's why it is not visible at all. The only thing that is left is the blue color. That is having a longer wavelength, as well as the scattering power is much more than other colors. Okay, so that's why the whole sky appears as blue. Okay, everyone. Do not get scattered much by air molecules in the atmosphere, and hence shorter wavelength is scattered most by air molecules all over the sky. So in that, blue color is specifically scattered due to the longer wavelength, which means that it can travel a much longer than the violet and indigo, and scattering power. It means that it is scattered easily by the air molecules. And then this is also one of the most important, you can say the most repetitive question, that question in this manner, like why do we see this space as black? Or the question in like could be asked in this manner. Suppose what will be the color of the atmosphere if earth had, like what will be the color of sky if earth had no atmosphere at all? So if the earth had no atmosphere consisting of air, there would have been no scattering of light, because if there is no atmosphere, it means that no particle will be there in the atmosphere, so no scattering of light will happen. Okay, so that's why the sky will appear black as similar to the outer space, because there is no atmosphere in the outer space, so no particle is there, gas particles or something like that. So that's why there is no scattering in the light. Am I clear to all of you? Please do let me know, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts so far to anyone? Please do let me know, everyone. Do you have any doubts so far?
No.
Sure. Now the question, this is also a very common question, that why the danger signs and basically the signals are in the red color, because they are in red color due to they can travel longer, because the wavelength is longer, so it means that they can travel longer as compared to other colors. So that, and basically they are not scattered by the air molecules or gas molecules, right? So that's why it can be seen from a very distant, you can say, position easily. Okay, so danger signals are in red color because red color light having longer wavelength is least scattered by fog or smoke particles. Due to this, the red light can be seen the same color even from a distance. Am I clear to all of you? Please do let me know, everyone. Is there anyone who is having doubt? Please do let me know.
No, sir.
Aisha, Mariam, Zainab, and Junaid and Abdul. What happened?
No, sir, no doubt.
Sure. Yes, Aisha.
No, nothing. I'm saying no.
Okay. ठीक है. ठीक है. Just a second. Okay, so these are some questions that the blue color of the sky is due to the scattering of light. The red color of the sunset and sunrise is due to the atmospheric, because the red color is least scattered. This is also a part of scattering of light, but this portion is deleted from the syllabus. So that's why we have not discussed this in the class. Okay. So next is, which of the following is not caused by the atmospheric refraction? Sun appearing red at sunset. This is not due to the atmospheric refraction. This is due to the scattering of light. The sky appears blue because some of the blue components, sunlight is scattered by the gas molecules present in the air, because dust particles, water particles, and soot particles are much more larger than the gas molecules. So that's why they cannot scatter the blue color. So only particle that can scatter is basically gas molecules. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes.
Sure, that's great. So these are much like another more questions, like the atmospheric refraction of light causes twinkling of a star. The stars appear higher in the sky than they actually are due to the refraction of light. This is also a part that is deleted. Next is the star twinkle, but the planets do not twinkle at night because the stars are far off, but planets are nearer to Earth. As the light from far off stars come down toward the earth, it bends toward the normal, because downwards the density increases, so refractive index increases, so it will bend towards the normal. Clear, everyone? Is there anyone who is having doubt? Sure. Next is, we can see the sun before the actual sunrise by about 2 minutes. Okay, because we can see the actual sunrise by 2 minutes. Due to the atmospheric refraction, the time from sunrise to sunset is lengthened by about 4 minutes. Sorry. Clear?
Yes.
That's great. Next is the day is longer on the earth by 4 minutes due to the earth has atmosphere. Am I clear to all of you? Please do let me know.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that's how this topic is done. So please do let me know if anybody has any doubts so far. Mariam, Zainab, Junaid, Aisha,
No,
and
no
Abdul.
doubts.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So that's all for this class, everyone. Then, okay. So in the next class, we'll be doing some more questions. Okay. So till then, take care. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz. Good night. Zainab, you have to
Sir,
say.
I have one doubt.
Ha, Aisha. Yes, you are saying the doubt. Yes, please tell me your doubt.
Yes, there was one question in that test, revision test which is going on.
Mm-hmm.
It was which of the following statement is correct regarding the propagation of light of different colors of white light in the air?
Mm-hmm. C
So
option
there
would be
were
correct,
four
Aisha.
options.
C. The light traveling in the air. Incorrect or correct? Could you please repeat? That was asking about the correct portion,
Correct.
na?
Yes.
Ha, correct. So all the lights will travel with the same speed in the air. That will be the correct option. I think so. It's
So
C or B.
why is it
Because Aisha, in the air there is no refraction at all. Because air is an even, so you can say, medium, right? Refractive index is 1. It means that 1, if you multiply, or like if you divide by the speed of light by 1, what you will get? It is 3 into 10 to the power 8. Is it changing? No, na. It
no?
means that all the colors will travel with the same speed. One more reason is that if the lights are traveling in air with the different speeds, the thing is that you will see the rainbow without any, you can say, like rain and all, right? Without any medium,
Yes.
right? But it is not possible. There should be a medium to see the rainbow or the splitting of light or dispersion of light. Clear? So
Yeah.
that's why in the air, all the light colors travels with the same speed. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts so far, Aisha?
No, sir.
Okay, I think so. It's C option. That is the all the lights will travel at with the same speed. C or B?
See,
C, na?
sir,
Chalo,
I wrote
cheek.
the answer as C.
Cheek. If you written the answer like see all the colors will travel with the
I
same
just
speed,
did
that will be
actually.
correct.
That's why
Okay.
I asked.
Okay. ठीक है. Now it's clear,
Okay,
Aisha?
thank you, sir. Yes.
Okay, that's great. Okay, take care. Bye bye.
Okay, thank
Okay, Mariam, you can also leave the class. Okay, please.
Bye,
Do you have
sir.
any
Thank
doubt,
you. Allah
Mariam?
Hafiz. No,
Allah
sir.
Hafiz. Allah Hafiz. Bye bye. Yes, Zainab, just a second. Could you please allow me a moment?
Yes, sir.
So we were discussing. Okay, human eye. We have to discuss the human eye.
Wait, didn't we already finish like revising human eye?
No, it's the question paper discussion, Zainab.
Oh, okay.
The question paper, the test you have given me, that's what the quick test was. You had some doubt, I got the information that you had some doubt. Could you please tell me?
That was in maths.
You had doubts in maths. Just a second, Aisha.
So they like scheduled a class for it, and then I got my doubts cleared.
ठीक है. That's good. So who's your faculty? I think so, Namrita ma'am, na?
Yes.
ठीक है, चलो, that's great. check. Now let's discuss the I chapter, like I revision test paper. Like let's find out what mistakes you have made in the paper. I think so. You have not given the light chapter test, now.
No, I didn't give the
हाँ,
light.
चलो ठीक, कोई बात. Now let's discuss it. Okay. So next thing. Okay, sure. Oh, Zainab. So we will in this class we'll be discussing the wrong answers you have written, right? So see this thing, 9th A. You have made like in the question, the defect of eye vision in which the person is able to see the nearby objects clearly, but object for the side. Yes, the nearby objects clearly. I, I think so. Nahin, nearby objects clearly, but cannot see the far objects. Na? So that is a myopia. That is written right. So long-sightedness or hypermetropia is not there. I also just get confused a little bit. I thought that I thought that I have written wrong or wrong. So that's why I thought it's myopia, because a person is not able to see the far objects. Nearby objects it can see, but the person is not able to see the far objects. Okay, that's clear. So that's one more thing, Zainab. If you're writing for the 2 marks, then at least write 2 points, or it should be longer a little bit. I've given you 2 marks because you have written completely right. I'm not saying that it is wrong, but the thing is that for justification of the 2 marks, you have to write at least 2 points. Because teacher will like you cannot argue from the teacher that why I haven't given the 2 marks for this, because the teacher will say this is only for 1 marks, right? So that is the thing. Okay, so sometimes teacher will give you and sometimes will not. So the main thing is that we have to be on the safer side. So we will be doing the 2 points at least in the 2 marks, right, Zainab?
Yes, sir. So, sir, for this answer, like the 21st one, since
Hmm.
I did write 2 points, was I supposed to write like where it's located and then like the use of it?
No, just you have to write the two functions of it. Like ciliary muscles are basically used to hold the eye lenses at a proper places. First function. Second is ciliary muscles are very important to adjust the focal length, or you can say ciliary muscles are used to accommodate the focal length of the eye lens. These are the two functions now. We have done this thing in the human eye functions. Go through the notes, you can find those two functions. Clear, Zainab?
Okay.
So here you have written basically 2 points. Just if you're so you have written proper, but the thing is that you have to write in the proper statement, like change the shape of the island. You can see this thing. Question number 22 is saying, just a second, just a second. Question number 22 is saying, state the role of ciliary muscles in accommodation of eye. Again, you have to write the same thing because sometimes questions will be repetitive, just the language will be changed. Right, you will write this thing. Ciliary muscles are used to change the shape of the eyelids. First statement, ciliary muscles are used to accommodate the focal length of the eye. Second statement. So if you write this in this manner, na, so that will be look more appealing and much more you can say clear and organized. These are the things, okay? Because these are very minor things that you have, like these are very minor details that will basically stand out your answer sheet in the whole class, right? So because these are the things when I was in 10th standard, na, I didn't have that much you can say idea how to write. But when I basically basically came in the 12th standard and I got the complete guidance, these were the things that I got to know that these are very important, and like some of the students do not give attention to it. So that's how since I've started teaching, I always give this thing to all my students that always write the answer in this manner that will basically stand out the answer sheet of yours in the whole class or in the whole batch. Okay.
Yeah, I wrote it like this because I thought that you guys were just checking for like the keywords. That's why I just wrote the key part.
Keywords are important as well as the presentation.
Okay.
You must have seen a 5-star chef and a roadside chef. Both are chef. They are giving the same. But the thing is that presentation given by the 5-star chef is much more etiquette and much more elegant. Much more elegant, na? So that is it. Okay?
Got it.
And that's why we pay for the 5-star hotel. Like it's on. Like the thing is in a very you can say is full of spoon, but we pay 5,000, 6,000 rupees for that. Right. So that is the thing. So representation is much more important as well as the core concept. Okay.
Okay.
That's great. Next is scattering of light. Okay, right now I have given you 3 marks, but one more thing I is Anna. Spellings is also important in the science paper,
Oh yeah.
right? And we have discussed this thing that always write the answer in the 3 pointers for the 3 markers. Right now, I was not able to find the proper keywords in the paragraph.
I
But
write it in paragraph because even if I don't know the answer, they'll just see the key points and they'll go like,
I
okay.
got these are like just a strategy, but that could also irritate the teacher who is checking. Like, I'm not saying I'm good, I got irritated, but the teacher who is checking in the CBSE will have thousands of copy to check. Right now, we have 10 to 20 copies, so I can give the attention to it. But the teacher who is checking, na, it could only, like, he can only basically consume 1 or 2 minutes for the 1 copy. They just see the
So
they
like
will
if I
not
don't
go
know an answer, can I do this like in a paragraph? Because if I write it in points, they'll get a full mark.
you
But if I
can,
write
you
it in
can,
paragraph, it's got like half mark.
you can, you can, no issues. But the thing, but I've just told you about the proper, you can say, strategy. The thing only. So sometimes, I know this thing that this is very common that sometimes the students forget to write like what is the core concept behind that. So when it's acceptable, right? So the what was the question basically? 27. The what is the scattering of meaning of scattering of light? The sky appears blue because why? So first, what you can do is that you can write the definition. Scattering of light is the spreading out the light in the random direction due to the due to the suspended air particles, dust particles, and water particles in the air and the atmosphere. Basically, second is reason is that the sky is blue due to the scattering of light by the air particle, basically gaseous molecules, because it's, like whatever is the reason and all. Okay, just okay. Now the 29th question. What is the power of accommodation? Okay, power of accommodation. You have the in this you have written properly, but the thing is that in this basically second pointer you have not basically given the proper word, right? That's why I have deducted half marks here. The power of accommodation is the ability of the eye adjust to focal length to focus on near or the far objects. The far point of human eye is infinity. The meaning of far point is the distance between the eye and the object. That is not a thing. Far point of, for the human eye is the point at the farthest point at which the object is placed and the eye can easily see it. Distinct, basically, make the image of it. That is the thing, right? But the thing you have written is not clear. A little bit messy definition is used. So that's why I have deducted half for it. Okay. So please go through the notes for the definition part again. Okay, Zainab? Before the exam, I think so it's on Sunday. You have 2 days. Still, you can polish your definitions.
Okay.
Right. Same near point. Okay. Next question is 34. All the colors. So here they go. Third question. Let's discuss the third one. So just a second. Question. Third question. Which of the following is the speed of light correct order? Speed of light correct order. It means that red, green. They go. Wave. Always, whenever you see the questions like this, always write this thing in this rough side. Wave cure. Right? It means that red has the longer wavelength. So it means speed of the red would be greatest and speed of the violet would be lowest. Right? It means that speed will decrease if you go from red to violet, and if you go from violet to red, speed will increase. You can use any of the manner. Okay. Let's understand. Red, green, blue. Let's see the order. Red, green, blue. It means that red has the highest speed. Green has the after that green, after that blue. It means that first is basically
Red.
matching our answer. That is the first answer only. You have written B. You have used opposite order. Blue will be having the lowest, but in this, blue is greatest according to you. That